I'm Brendan Clark. I'm a big 49ers fan based in Reading, England. For the last several years, I've not missed a game. Obviously behind me is a lot of sports cards.
Is your collection starting to take over your house?
I got this shelving unit you can see behind me, custom built, just for my collection.
49er fans across the ocean.
Yeah.
Is this a growing trend?
I think it's always been there and it is growing.
My wife thinks I'm absolutely mad. She doesn't get it whatsoever. My two oldest children have become huge 49ers fans as well.
At long last, the 49er faithful can come back here to Levi's Stadium and cheer with 70,000 other fans. But you know, for some of the most faithful fans, it's not exactly a quick drive up the road. The 49ers have diehard fans all over the country, and they even have some halfway around the world.
These are the cleats I spoke about. They're Fred Warner game used. Pretty cool. Got some mud at the bottom.
To Brendan Clark, these shoes are sacred.
They don't look brand new, I'll put it that way.
They've got a bit of a funk to them as well, I must admit.
He's more than 5,000 miles from Levi's Stadium.
These are the game used gloves that have been autographed as well.
But he's as faithful as fans can get.
How did you become a 49er fan all the way over there in England?
I grew up in New Zealand, and it was through the fashion of the early 90s and the starter jackets that were very popular in New Zealand.
Call it a classic case of sibling rivalry.
My brother got a Cowboys one, and the 49ers and Cowboys had quite a big rivalry, and that's how I became a 49ers fan, to basically go up against my brother.
But talk about commitment. Years later, on a layover flying through San Francisco, he remembered his 10-year-old self.
I managed to make it down to Candlestick Park with my wife and my baby at the time.
And you might say the faithful tailgaters rolled out the red and gold carpet for their international visitors.
We were just treated so brilliantly, and it just really cemented my love for the 49ers, and I'd say that's when I truly became faithful. It was probably 2011.
Just a year earlier, the 49ers had traveled to London to play this game against the Denver Broncos. The NFL now holds at least 2 games in London each year, and they seem to be getting more popular.
I just had the opportunity to be in London, and it was incredible to see so many people in 49ers gear. They're very proudly wearing their jerseys.
Niners VP Jenny Luke says even in a country where football means something totally different, American football is starting to catch on.
Was it a surreal experience to be in an English pub and see American football?
It was a little different. It was great because people were fired up.
For the uninitiated, Clark says it can take some getting used to.
They find it a little bit odd, the stop-start nature of NFL. But I actually quite like it because it gives me a chance to actually understand what's just happened and why it happened the way it did.
Unlike rugby and that other kind of football, American football has a lot of breaks in the action, and that can be a good thing.
You're able to show a replay, you're able to break it down. It really helps teach the game.
And it's quite good as well because you can go out and get a cup of tea and not miss anything, which is quite nice.
Indeed, England's traditions are a bit different.
One of the things that is not a tradition in English sports is tailgating. English fans, I think, are very curious about that kind of pregame ritual for American fans.
Some marinated chicken.
A ritual that was disrupted last season as teams played in empty stadiums with empty parking lots.
So we created a program called the Tail Crate, and you can have a tailgating kit sent to your home that's very 49ers friendly.
It turns out, in this case, it was the English sports teams that had something to teach the Americans.
LEEDS United, one of our English Premier League soccer team friends, the majority of their fans across the globe, they will never, ever come to a game at the stadium.
So the 49ers learned how to engage fans at a distance. They made a virtual tour of the 49ers Museum with all its treasured trophies and priceless artifacts. And now they've launched the 49ers Supporters Club, a subscription that gets you a box of merchandise and a steady stream of online content for members only.
We've had over 1,000 people sign up to date, and about 15% of those are international fans from all over the world.
And yes, that includes Brendan Clark, who's already plotting the next piece of his collection.
A game-used jersey as well would be epic. I'd love one from this year with the 75-year anniversary patch as well.
And though he does catch NFL games when they come to London, he's not stopping there. He's teaching his kids to play football, the American kind.
4 of them are big enough to be able to catch and throw the ball now.
And they can't wait for the day when they're old enough to stay up late for Sunday night football, which in England starts around 1 o'clock in the morning. Until then,
I can't quite jump up and down and curse when things don't go right, because I don't want to wake my children up, because I don't want to be dealing with that in the middle of the night. I've got football to watch.